Bgmc. The biblical truth lives here.
The ancient Hebrew scriptures foretold of the Anointed One, Yeshua HaMashiach. The Messiah Yeshua came to call the people back to the truth of His word and to follow that righteous path. Yeshua then called Jewish men to be His disciples, and after His death and resurrection, those Jewish men told the world about the Jewish Messiah. Now, after 2,000 years, Beth Goyim Messianic congregation has that same calling of those Jewish men, telling all people, both Jew and Gentile, about the proper ancient path, teaching the Route 66 King's Highway from Genesis through to Revelation, and how you need and can get back to the proper roots of the faith and a closer walk with God. Now, let's hear the message.
Let's go! Get a blessing. Turn to the book of Bereshit, Genesis chapter 7.
Vamos en búsqueda de una bendición y abramos nuestras Biblias en el capítulo 7 de Génesis, versículo 8.
No, 7.
Yeah, 7,
Oh, 7, 8. Oh, okay. Okay, versículo 8. Okay. This is the City Gate Messianic Bible Study.
Este es el estudio bíblico, los portones de la ciudad.
This is Parasha number 5, part L.
Este es el Parashá número 5, sección L.
Okay, we're going to be going over Noach in the Ark. We got 22 slides to maybe get through.
Vamos a seguir viendo sobre Noé y el arca. Y tenemos aproximadamente algunas 20 diapositivas que vamos a estar viendo hoy.
Okay, let's read Genesis, Bereshit, chapter 7, verse 8 and 9.
Vamos a leer el capítulo 7 del libro de Génesis, versículo 8 y 9.
This is section number 5 of Genesis chapter 7.
Esta es la sección 5 del capítulo 7.
Of clean animals, of animals that are not clean, of birds, and of everything that creeps on the ground. Couples, male and female, went into Noach in the ark as Elohim had ordered Noach. Okay? So in verse 8 we have 4 sections.
En el versículo 8 tenemos 4 secciones.
In verse 9 we have 3 sections.
Y en el versículo 9 tenemos 3 secciones.
Okay, we're going to go over this part a little quick.
Vamos a sobrepasar esta parte un poco rápido.
Because we're going to get to the more interesting stuff so that Denise doesn't fall asleep.
Para que así podamos proseguir a cosas más importantes y más interesantes.
Okay, and we don't want Elizabeth to fall asleep tonight. Her daughter finished college today. Yay! Congratulations, Elizabeth. We're all very happy and proud of you. Yay! Okay, so she finished up school, so we're all very happy for our daughter in the Lord. Amen. And we're going to pray for Carmen. She's up in pain. She got a shot for her back. She's been in a lot of pain, so we pray that Jehovah Rapha touch our good friend and sister Carmen. All right, so let's go over verse 7 and verse 8. Verse 8 and verse 9.
Vamos a repasar el versículo 8 y el 9 del capítulo 7 de Génesis.
In verse 8, there's 4 sections.
En el versículo 8 hay 4 secciones.
Okay, the first part is verse 8 is clean animals.
La primera sección en el versículo 8 son animales impuros, animales puros, sorry.
Okay, and then the second part is animals that are not clean.
Y la segunda parte, la segunda sección es animales que son impuros.
Third part is birds.
La tercera sección es aves.
And the fourth part, everything that creeps on the ground.
Y la cuarta sección es todo lo que se arrastra sobre la tierra.
Okay, so what you should be doing is marking up your Bible.
Lo que deberías estar haciendo es marcando tu Biblia.
Your Bible should have a lot of marks in it.
Tu Biblia debería tener muchas marcas, muchas subrayadas en varias áreas.
The key is that the Bible should be your directions for life.
La clave es de que tu Biblia debería ser tu guía para la vida.
And just like you bookmark a website,
Como tú le haces un bookmark o guardas una página web,
you should mark up your Bible with a lot of notes.
deberías de marcar tu Biblia con muchas notas.
Yes, Elizabeth?
Rabbi, in my, like, and this is personal, I like to keep the integrity of the Bible, you know, because I like to take care of it. I go like this too, like, I like to keep it clean. But this is personal, I never mark. Like, I like to keep it like beautiful as it is.
I used to say
Well,
that till I
that
Yeah,
that's one way. I mean, you can have a notebook,
yeah.
but if you have to run,
I'll run.
if you have to run,
Cuando tienes, pero ¿qué tal que si tienes que salir corriendo?
you're not going to be able to grab your notebooks. You're going to grab what's most important to you.
Tal vez no vas a poder tomar tus notas y tus libretas y entonces vas a tener entonces sí tu Biblia marcada si lo haces.
But each person is different. That's why you can buy multiple Bibles.
Sabemos que cada persona es diferente y por esto es que puedes comprar diferentes Biblias,
Okay,
múltiples Biblias.
I like to mark up my Bible
Por lo menos a mí me gusta marcar mi Biblia
because it's my Bible.
porque es mi Biblia.
And it's, a Bible that I'll leave to my son or grandchildren or whomever.
Y mi Biblia es algo que yo dejaré para mis hijos o mis nietos o nieta, quien sea.
The way I think of the Bible, the scriptures,
De la forma en que yo pienso la Biblia, las Escrituras,
this is why Bethlehem is an education ministry.
y por esto es que Bgmc es un ministerio de educativo.
When I got my degree in engineering,
Cuando yo obtuve su grado en ingeniería,
I paid a lot of money for those books.
yo pagué mucho dinero por esos libros.
And in those books, I marked them up with highlighters for that part of my life.
Estos libros yo los subrayé con marcadores y para este periodo de mi vida.
So the same thought process I use for my Bible.
Y yo tengo el mismo método y el proceso de pensamiento para mi Biblia.
The reason that I highlight is it points you to the most important information.
Por el motivo de la que yo subrayo mi Biblia es porque cuando está subrayada me señala, me muestra la parte más importante.
The same as when I went into medicine after leaving engineering.
Y lo mismo sucedió cuando me fui al área de la medicina, cuando salí de la ingeniería.
All my medical books are highly marked up.
Todos mis libros de medicina están completamente subrayados.
So that's why I use that same methodology for teaching theology.
Por esto es que yo uso también la misma metodología para enseñar teología.
That's why I'm so blessed now that they have more colors and highlighting.
Por eso es que soy un poco más bendecido porque ahora tienen diferentes colores.
When I was a kid, it was yellow and green.
Porque cuando yo era un niño todo era amarillo, los marcadores eran amarillos y verdes.
Now, you don't mark up a Torah scroll. That's one thing you don't do.
Algo que tú no deberías marcar de ninguna manera sería el rollo de la Torá.
But a printed Bible, go ahead, mark it up.
Pero una Biblia que es imprimida, sí, podrías hacerlo.
All right, so let's go back to now verse 9. And hi, Betsy! Have
Ahora-
some organic fruit.
Vamos al versículo 9.
Yeah, there's one study I'm probably going to do. Rebitz and I have been doing a lot of research on foods. In the Bible, there's a lot of stuff about food.
Yes.
Yeah.
Rabbitson y yo hemos estado indagando en la área de la comida.
There's there's a reason why God said to eat certain things.
Hay una razón, sabes que en la Biblia hay muchas diferentes cosas que puedes comer y no, pero hay una razón por la cual Dios dijo que hay ciertas cosas que deberías comer.
And our body is missing major nutrients because of what we've done, what the government has done to the farms.
Y nuestro cuerpo le hace falta la mayoría de las vitaminas y la sustancia que tienen las verduras y la comida. Y esto es por causa de que el gobierno ha hecho daño ¿cómo se dice? Al sistema agricultura.
Okay, so a lot of things that are going wrong with our
Cultivo.
a lot of things that are going wrong with our bodies is because of the food that we're eating. It's not the meat. Don't get stupid and be a vegetarian.
Muchas de las razones por las cuales nuestros cuerpos están un poco caen en enfermedades es por la razón de que hacen falta esto, y no me vengas con el cuento de que no comer carne y que eres vegetariano.
But when you're eating meat, with the priesthood ate meat, lots and lots of meat.
Pero cuando comes carne y el sacerdocio comía mucho carne,
The meat has to be organic,
la carne debe ser orgánica
okay, and kosher.
y a la vez kosher.
So we're going to be, in the future, doing a whole study on all the foods that we're eating.
En el futuro vamos a estar haciendo un estudio de toda la comida que podemos comer.
One of our largest videos that are out there, that's the oil video, is one of the largest views on our site. We almost have 3,000 videos.
Uno de los videos que se ha visto más en la internet, en nuestra página web, es aquel acerca de los aceites.
Our introduction video, I looked in, it's been viewed 34,000 times.
Nuestro video de introducción en la página web se ha tenido un visto de aproximadamente 34,000 veces.
Okay, so back to this study.
Vamos de regreso al estudio.
Verse 9
Versículo 9.
has 3 sections.
El versículo 9 tiene 3 secciones.
Couples, male and female,
Parejas femeninas y masculinas.
and that is very important for the world that we live in today.
Esto es muy importante para el mundo en el cual estamos viviendo hoy en día.
And the second part is into Noach in the ark.
Y la segunda parte es entraron con Noé al arca.
And then the third part is Elohim had ordered Noach.
Y la tercera parte es Elohim ordenó a Noé.
The reason we mark up our Bibles,
La razón por la cual marcamos nuestras Biblias,
once you know how to break down the verses into important areas,
una vez que sepas separar los versículos en diferentes áreas,
then you'll be able to understand the verse better.
eso te va a hacer entender el versículo mejor.
Like in theology this morning with the children,
Como esta mañana en teología con los niños,
I spent an hour on 3 words.
yo me pasé estudiamos una hora en 3 palabras.
Strong, bold, and not afraid.
Fuerte, audaz, valiente y sin tener miedo.
Okay? Now, by really going over it with the children,
Y ahora estudiando esto con los niños,
you bring real strength to their young minds.
con esto tú traes una fuerza verdadera o una noción verdadera en sus mentes.
Now, the reason I talk about that,
La razón por la cual yo hablo de esto,
because what we're doing here in our study of the Parasha, the Triennial Parasha,
porque lo que estamos haciendo aquí en este estudio, en esta parashá trianual,
is we're going college level.
es que nos estamos yendo a nivel de universidad.
Because Jews are strong on education.
Porque los judíos son fuertes en la educación.
Now, if you get this right here,
Ahora si tienes esto que está aquí,
and then you apply it to the rest of your lives,
y esto tú lo aplicas en el resto de tu vida,
then if you want a better job,
entonces si quieres un mejor trabajo,
and you apply the same standards
y tú aplicas estos mismos,
No, esta misma norma.
estas mismas normas,
then with God, you should be able to achieve your goals much better.
entonces con Dios deberías de alcanzar tus metas mucho más fácil,
Because we serve the King of the universe.
porque nosotros servimos al Rey del Universo
And He only wants the best for His children.
y Él lo que quiere para sus hijos es lo mejor.
We are required by Him to do our work.
Pero a nosotros se nos ha requerido por Él hacer un trabajo arduo.
So if you take this understanding of how to learn your Bible, not like a Christian,
Si tomas este entendimiento de cómo entender tu Biblia o cómo aprender en tu Biblia,
but like somebody who loves Elohim, Yeshua the Father, and the Ruach,
como alguien que ama a Elohim, al Padre, el Hijo y el Ruach HaKodesh,
then you will achieve a great goal.
entonces sí vas a alcanzar una meta.
All right, let's go on to the next slide.
Vamos a la siguiente diapositiva.
Well, let's just read the two verses again.
Vamos a leer los dos versículos nuevamente.
Of clean animals, of animals that are not clean, of birds and of everything that creeps on the ground, couples male and female went into Noach in the ark as Elohim had ordered. Noach. Okay, now the synopsis.
El resumen.
Now, as we spoke in previous studies,
Ahora, como hemos hablado en estudios anteriormente,
all the clean and unclean animals,
todos los animales puros y impuros,
birds and creeping things are now on the ark.
Aves y todo lo que se arrastra sobre la tierra están dentro del arca.
Couples consisting of male and female.
Parejas que consisten de el masculino y el femenino,
Once again, we need to reiterate this point
macho y hembra. Una vez más que debemos reiterar la importancia,
because the stupid world that we're living in
porque el mundo estúpido en el cual estamos viviendo hoy en día
wants to say that you can choose whatever you want to be.
ellos ellos dicen que tú puedes escoger lo que tú quieras ser.
So we need to be bold on the word of God.
Debemos ser audaz o valientes en la palabra de Jehová.
If you're a man and you want to choose to be a woman, then cut your parts off.
Si eres un hombre y tú quieres escoger ser una mujer, entonces mejor córtate mutílate.
Go all the way.
¿Por qué no lo haces del todo?
But for the species to live,
Pero para las especies, para que puedan vivir,
then you need a male and a female.
para esto necesitarías un macho y una hembra.
Okay? So in the ark, there were couples consisting of male and female.
En el arca habían animales que consistían de macho y hembra.
Because the way you're going to have more birds
Porque de la manera que vas a tener más aves,
is you need a guy bird and a girl bird.
necesitas una ave que es macho y una ave que es hembra.
Not a girl bird who thinks she's a guy,
No una ave hembra que piensa que es un macho.
or a boy bird that thinks he's a girl.
O una ave macho que piensa que es una hembra.
Now, you might want to do that,
Tú tal vez quieras hacer eso,
but you're not going to keep the species going.
pero entonces haciendo esto no vas a poder seguir
Como preservar.
preservar, yo quería usar la palabra correcta, preservar ese tipo de ave,
The species
especies.
will die.
La especie entonces moriría.
Okay? So Jehovah in his wisdom
Jehová en su sabiduría
sent male and female to the ark.
envió macho y hembra al arca.
Okay, let's go on to the next slide.
Vamos a la siguiente diapositiva.
We're going to focus now on verse 8.
Ahora nos vamos a enfocar en el versículo 8.
Of clean animals and animals that are not clean, of birds and everything that creeps on the ground. Amen? So now we're going to quickly go over this part again,
Ahora rápidamente vamos a sobrepasar esta nuevamente,
because in other studies we've gone over this, but we're pretty much going line by line.
porque en otros estudios hemos repasado esto, pero ahora vamos de versículo en versículo.
And the reason I'm doing this,
Y la razón por la cual estoy haciendo esto
I'm not
es,
going to be as I'm not going to spend as much time on every line.
yo no voy a pasar mucho tiempo en cada sección,
But we are going to pretty much look at every line of the Torah.
pero vamos a repasar y a ver o a estudiar cada parte de la Torá.
Now, the reason we're doing this,
La razón por la cual estamos haciendo esto,
because as you get into the laws that apply to our lives,
mientras que vas entendiendo las leyes que se aplican para ti,
once you have these foundational blocks,
una vez que tienes esta información,
then when you get to the law about clean and unclean animals,
cuando llegas a la ley de los animales puro e impuro,
that you can eat,
de que tú puedas comer,
you then understand it a little better from the beginning of Genesis.
entonces así lo vas a poder entender mejor desde el principio de Génesis.
Okay, so verse 8,
Versículo 8.
of clean animals, of animals that are not clean, of birds and everything that creeps on the ground. Okay, so now we're first looking at the word clean.
Ahora primeramente estamos viendo la palabra limpio.
The root word is H2889.
La palabra raíz es H2889.
It is the Hebrew root word tahor.
Es la palabra raíz hebrea tahor.
Okay, it means pure or clean.
Significa puro o limpio.
So why are we slowing down here again?
Ahora, ¿por qué vamos a ir despacio nuevamente?
Because when we're told what to eat
Porque cuando se nos dice qué comer,
in Vayikra, Leviticus chapter 11,
en Levíticos capítulos 11,
then the Lord said, eat the clean animals
el Dios dice, come del animal limpio.
and don't eat the unclean animals,
No te comas el impuro,
because these animals are pure.
porque estos animales son puros.
Now, what we've noticed in the supermarket,
Lo que hemos notado en el supermercado,
the shrimp and lobster prices are significantly lower than they were 10 years ago.
el precio de las langostas y los camarones están significativamente mucho más bajo que hace 10 años atrás.
Now, we're not supposed to eat shrimp or lobster.
Nosotros no podemos comer ni camarones ni langosta.
Now, a lot of those animals are caught in the Pacific Ocean.
Muchos de estos animales se le pesca en el Océano Pacífico.
The Pacific Ocean is fully radioactive.
El Océano Pacífico está completamente radioactivo.
So, let's say you're eating shrimp from the Pacific Ocean.
Digamos que estás comiendo camarones del Océano Pacífico.
The shrimp, let's just say the shrimp is from the Pacific,
Digamos que el camarón es del Pacífico.
or the clam is from the Pacific.
O las almejas.
Oh. Excuse me? No. Yeah, from the ocean.
La
Okay.
pregunta es que si los camarones son del mar
I'm
o
getting
del
to a
río.
point. We're talking about clean and pure.
Estamos hablando de lo puro e impuro.
Even in your fish.
Aún en tu pescado.
Let's talk about fish.
Vamos a hablar sobre el pez.
Now, there are certain fish that we're not supposed to eat.
Hay algunos peces que no estamos supuestos a comer.
Fish that don't have scales and fins, we're not supposed to eat.
Peces que no tienen escamas y aletas no estamos supuestos a comer.
Okay? Now, a lot of the fish that we're not supposed to eat,
Muchos de esos pescados no estamos supuestos a comerlos.
they feed on the bottom of the ocean.
Ellos comen, ellos limpian las profundidades del mar.
They are not pure animals.
Ellos no son animales puros.
So let's say you're eating a fish from the Pacific Ocean.
Ahora digamos que te estás comiendo un pez del Océano Pacífico.
Then you're eating something that's eating garbage
Entonces te estás comiendo algo que come basura,
that is not pure or clean.
que no es puro o limpio.
So you're ingesting that fish that is not pure or clean.
Entonces estás ingiriendo este pescado que no es puro que no es puro.
And you wonder why you're getting sick.
Y ahora quieres tú saber por el cual estás enfermo, te
Well,
estás enfermando.
I buy fish that is farm fed.
Yo compro pescados que son crecen en un farm,
The-
en una granja.
okay, there's a lot of fish farms.
Hay muchos pescados que son de la granja.
They're not feeding the fish properly.
Ellos no alimentan los peces adecuadamente.
So you're eating that fish that's not eating properly.
Tú estás comiendo ese pez que no está comiendo adecuadamente.
That fish is not pure or clean anymore.
Este pez no es puro, ya no es más puro.
So here on the ark in verse 8,
Aquí en el arca, en el versículo 8,
the Lord says clean animals, tahor.
el Señor dijo animales puros, tahor.
Okay, so you want an animal that is pure or clean.
Tú quieres un animal que es puro o limpio.
Okay, now he also says animals that are not clean.
Él también dice animales que son impuros, que no son limpios.
Okay, here the word clean is the same in the verse,
Aquí la palabra limpio es la misma en el versículo,
but there's another word that is in front of the word clean, the word not.
hay una palabra enfrente de la palabra limpio que es la palabra not, que
Not.
es no,
Okay, which is H369.
que es la palabra H369.
It is the Hebrew root word ayin,
Es la palabra hebrea raíz ain.
meaning number one, nothing.
Número 1, nada.
Not,
No.
to have not of possession.
No tener una posesión.
So these animals that are not clean are not pure.
Estos animales que no son limpios no son puros.
Okay, so here in the Hebrew, the word ayin is before tahor.
Aquí la palabra hebrea ain es antes de tahor.
Let's go on to the next slide. We're not going to.
Vamos a la siguiente diapositiva.
Okay, like I said, we're going to, in the beginning, start off slow. Let's start off fast. Okay, because we want to get to the other, I think, what you're going to find real interesting information.
Bueno, al principio vamos a comenzar vamos a observar las cosas un poquito rápido, después van a observar cosas interesantes.
Okay, let's look at verse number 9.
Veamos al versículo, número 9.
Couples, male and female, went into Noach in the ark as Elohim had ordered Noah. Amen?
Amén.
So once again, this is a very important understanding.
Este es un entendimiento muy importante.
He said couples.
Dice parejas.
And then he specifies male and female.
Y dice, y especifica que es macho y hembra.
Okay? The word for male is H2145.
La palabra para macho es H245.
The root word is zakar,
La palabra raíz es sakar,
meaning male of humans and animals.
que es macho de humanos y animales.
It is a masculine noun.
Es un sustantivo masculino.
A noun is a person, place, or thing.
Este es una persona, lugar o cosa.
Okay? It's very important
Es muy importante.
because the reason we're going so much into detail here
Porque la razón que estamos mirando estas cosas en detalle
is because they're going to try to the world is going to try to rid itself of the Bible
es que el mundo va a tratar de deshacerse de la Biblia.
because the fags don't like us talking like this.
Porque a los homosexuales no les gusta que hablemos así.
So we need to be strong,
Necesitamos ser fuertes,
bold, and not afraid.
valientes y no tener miedo.
So when somebody says we can't talk like this, we talk more like this.
Si alguien dice no pueden hablar así, pues nosotros hablaremos más así.
And we say we don't really care about your feelings.
Y les decimos, en verdad no me importan tus sentimientos.
Since you don't care about my God or his feelings, I don't care about yours.
Como a ti no te importa mi Dios ni sus sentimientos, entonces tampoco me vas a importar tú.
So to have the species to continue,
Entonces tienen las especies para continuar.
Jehovah said, get couples, male and female.
Ya Jehová dice que obtenga parejas, macho y hembra.
So the word zakar means a male of humans or animals.
La palabra zakar es macho de humanos o animales y animales.
Now, he also used the word female.
También utiliza la palabra hembra.
It is the root word H5347.
Es la palabra H5347.
It is the Hebrew root word nakeba.
Es la palabra raíz nekeva,
It means a female.
que significa femenina o hembra.
Number 2, a woman or a female child.
Mujer o niña, niña femenina o hembra.
Or number 3, a female animal.
O número 3, animal, hembra.
Okay? So Jehovah is being very specific as we've gone over in a lot of these studies.
Jehová es muy específico cuando estamos en estos estudios.
Okay? So we're not going to keep on this point for this study tonight
No vamos a mantenernos en este punto por este estudio,
because we've gone over it for many hours already.
porque ya hemos revisado esta información muchas horas.
Let's go on to the next slide.
Vamos a la siguiente diapositiva.
Let's read verse 8 and 9 again.
Leamos los versos 8 y 9 otra vez.
Of clean animals, of animals that are not clean, of birds, and of everything that creeps on the ground. Couples, male and female, went into Noach in the ark as Elohim had ordered Noach. Okay? So we're getting ready for the flood.
Cuando se está preparando para el diluvio.
The flood is real.
El diluvio es real.
There's evidence that proves that from all around the globe.
Hay evidencia que prueba esto en todo el mundo.
There's secular writings from all around the globe
Hay escritos seculares en todo el mundo
that speak of a worldwide flood.
que hablan acerca de un diluvio mundial.
So in verse 9,
En el versículo 9,
the animals went into Noach 2 by 2.
los animales fueron hacia Noé 2 por 2.
And from Genesis chapter 6, verse 20,
Y de Génesis capítulo 6, versículo
the
20,
animals came to Noach. You didn't have to go hunt them.
los animales llegaron o fueron hasta Noé, él no tuvo que ir a buscarlos.
And if you don't believe that, go back in their other studies. They're all on the website.
Y si no crees eso, pues ve a los otros estudios y descubrirás eso.
Because sometimes when you're studying like this,
Porque cuando estás estudiando así
and you're focusing on very small areas,
y te estás enfocando en áreas muy pequeñas,
you sometimes forget the information that we did a couple of weeks ago.
hay veces que te olvidas de la información que vimos hace un tiempo atrás.
So the reference here is Genesis 6, verse 20,
La referencia aquí es Génesis 6, versículo 20,
that the animals came to Noach.
que los animales fueron hacia Noé.
Now, verse 9,
Versículo 9,
couples, male and female, went into Noach in the ark as Elohim had ordered Noach. Amen?
amén.
Now, once again, this is Elohim ordering Noach.
Una vez más, este es Elohim ordenándole a Noé.
Now, why is it not saying Jehovah there?
¿Por qué no dice aquí Jehová?
That means it's Godhead.
Significa que es el Dios cabeza.
That means it's Yeshua, our Messiah, is there.
Significa que Yeshua, nuestro Mesías, está ahí.
Okay, so when you think we're living under grace,
Cuando tú piensas que estamos viviendo bajo gracia,
remember Yeshua agreed with flooding the earth.
recuerda que Yeshua también estuvo de acuerdo con inundar el mundo.
It's something most Messianic congregations and certainly churches do not teach.
Es algo que la mayoría de congregaciones mesiánicas y las iglesias no enseñan.
Okay, so Elohim ordered Noach to build the ark.
Elohim ordenó a Noah que construya el arca.
Elohim told the animals to go meet Noach at the ark, at the bus stop.
Elohim les dijo a los animales que vayan hacia Noah.
Okay, Elohim commanded Noach.
Elohim ordenó a Noah.
Now, he is the head of his family.
Ahora él es la cabeza de su familia.
And it's something to point out again tonight.
Y algo que debemos mirar hoy,
When a man leads his family in spiritual leadership,
cuando un hombre lidera a su familia en un puesto de liderazgo espiritual,
the Lord will speak to that man.
el Señor hablará con este hombre,
He will guide that man.
le guiará a este hombre.
And then everybody under his covering
Y-
will have peace and shalom.
Y todo aquel que esté bajo su cubierta o bajo su cobertura va a tener paz y shalom.
And then when hell hits the earth, you will be saved.
Y cuando el infierno se esparza en la tierra, pues estarán a salvo.
If you're with a godly man.
Si es que estás con un hombre piadoso o temeroso de Dios.
This is what we've been learning in this study, how important that leadership role is.
Eso es lo que hemos estado mirando en este estudio, cómo es el papel de liderazgo.
Now, we had a sidetrack last week because of Denise's question,
Nos desviamos un poquito por causa de la pregunta de la hermana Denise,
because she jumped ahead as normal.
porque se adelantó.
Okay, and she was asking about Noah getting drunk.
Y ella preguntó acerca de cuando Noé se emborrachó
And was it a sin?
y que si fue un pecado.
Okay, so if you want to know about alcohol, we did a study last week on alcohol.
Si quieren aprender acerca del alcohol, pues ustedes pueden observar el estudio de la semana pasada.
Okay, and you can always go to messianicstudent.org. It's right on that page.
Pueden ir a messianicstudent.org y estará en la pantalla, en la página.
Now, the interesting thing about this
Y la parte interesante acerca de esto
is Noach was obedient,
es que Noah era obediente,
his family was obedient.
su familia era obediente.
We don't ever see his family giving him problems.
No vemos que su familia le está dando problemas.
Now, Jehovah is going to flood all the land.
Jehová va a inundar toda la tierra.
He's going to destroy most of the animals except for the ones on the ark.
Él va a destruir la mayoría de animales excepto los que están en el arca.
Animals have a soul,
Los animales tienen un alma.
because in chapter 9,
Porque en el capítulo 9,
Jehovah's going to hold the animals accountable.
Jehová va a pedirle cuenta a los animales.
He can't hold them accountable unless they know.
Él no les va a pedir cuenta si no tuvieran alma.
So let's think about this for a second.
Pensemos en esto un momento.
The animals that are coming to Noach
Los
must be the righteous animals,
Los animales que llegaron hasta Noé deben ser los animales que eran justos,
because he's going to destroy the other ones.
porque Dios iba a destruir los otros.
Even though they're biblically kosher,
Aunque eran limpios bíblicamente,
there's got to be something wrong with them in their spirit.
tiene que haber algo malo en su espíritu.
Okay, let's think about that for a second.
Pensemos acerca de eso.
Okay, let's think about that for 1 second.
Well, no, I have to agree on that because you have pets that get, not possessed, what's the word?
Possessed.
Is it when they attack, like the dogs, when they get, what's the rabies, thank you. You know, so obviously there's gotta be something there that they can use, you know, like a vehicle where there's also evil involved.
Or an animal that does not follow their proper place.
Si un animal no sigue no mantiene su puesto designado o sigue lo que está asignado.
Okay, we're supposed to be in charge of all the animals.
Nosotros debemos estar a cargo de los animales.
We're supposed to eat the animals.
Se supone que debemos comer de los animales.
But we are supposed to kill them properly,
Se supone que debemos matarlos de una manera apropiada.
and the way that most people kill the animals is improper,
Y la manera que la mayoría de gente mata a los animales no es correcta.
because we should have, God says to kill them this particular way from ear to ear,
Porque Dios dice que hay que matarlos de una manera en particular, de cortarlos de oído a oído, de oreja a oreja.
It is very humane, and they die very quickly and rather pain-free.
Es una manera humana de matarlos y mueren muy pronto, inmediatamente.
Beating them with a sledgehammer or electrocuting them is horrible.
Golpearlos con un martillo o electrocutarlos es horrible.
But let's go back to the flood.
Vamos al diluvio.
So the animals, the 7 clean couples
Entonces estas 7 parejas que son limpias,
that Jehovah chose were the best 7 clean on the animal,
Okay.
on the planet.
que Jehová escogió, eran los mejores en el planeta.
So if we follow the same pattern,
Entonces, si seguimos el mismo patrón,
those 7 clean couples,
estos 7 animales limpios,
so those 14 animals,
son 14 animales, 7 parejas,
must have been obedient to Jehovah,
deben haber sido obedientes a Jehová
and they are going to get saved.
y ellos van a ser salvos.
Okay, so let's move on to the next part.
Vamos a la siguiente parte.
Next slide, section 6.
Sección número 6.
Now I'm going to slow down
Ahora nos vamos a frenar un poquito
because we're going to have a lot of interesting translation.
porque vamos a tener mucha interesante traducción.
We're going to have a lot of interesting discussion, I believe.
Vamos a tener una discusión muy interesante, yo creo.
Denise has already got the microphone.
Y ya, la hermana Denise está con el
Okay,
micrófono.
so we're on to section number 6 of chapter 7.
Vamos a la sección número 6 del capítulo 7.
We're going to now read verse 10 through 12.
Vamos a leer los versos 10 hasta el 12.
After 7 days, the water flooded the earth. On the 17th day of the 2nd month of the 600th year of Noach's life, all the fountains of the great deep were broken up, and the windows of the sky were opened. It rained on the earth 40 days and 40 nights. Okay, so we have 3 verses.
Tenemos 3 versos.
In verse 10,
En el versículo 10
we have 2 sections.
tenemos 2 secciones.
After 7 days is the first one.
Después de 7 días es la primera parte.
It's Oscar!
Yeah,
That's not in the
shalom.
Bible, it's Oscar. Okay? Have a sandwich, a grilled cheese sandwich. Okay? See, if you were here at Bible study, you can have a grilled cheese sandwich too. And coffee. The second part of verse 10,
La segunda parte del versículo 10.
water flooded the earth.
Las aguas del diluvio vinieron sobre la tierra.
Water flooded the earth.
Aguas del diluvio vinieron sobre la tierra.
In verse 11,
En el versículo 11
there are 5 sections.
hay 5 secciones.
Section number 1,
Sección número 1.
17th day of the 2nd month.
En el...
17.
No, I know, but okay. El...
17th day of the 2nd month.
Okay. En el segundo mes, a los 17 días del mes.
Okay. Second part,
Segunda parte.
600th year.
En el año 600.
Third part,
Tercera parte.
all the fountains.
Todas las fuentes.
All the fountains.
Todas las fuentes.
Fourth part, the great deep.
Cuarta parte del gran abismo.
The great deep was broken up. Sorry, it's
Del
a,
gran abismo se rompieron.
the great deep was broken up.
Del gran abismo se rompieron.
And the fifth part, windows of the sky were opened.
Y las compuertas del cielo fueron abiertas.
Windows of the sky were opened.
Las compuertas o las ventanas del cielo fueron abiertas.
Finally, verse 12 has 3 sections.
Versículo 12 tiene 3 secciones.
It rained.
Y cayó la lluvia.
It rained.
Y cayó la lluvia.
Part 2, earth.
Parte 2, tierra.
Earth.
Tierra.
And finally, 40 days and 40
Y
nights.
finalmente por 40 días y 40 noches.
Now, I believe we're going to have some fun looking at all this information.
Vamos a divertirnos un poco mirando la información.
Numbers and why was it the 17th day of the 2nd month?
Números y por qué ocurrió esto el 17 día del mes.
Why is it after 7 days?
¿Por qué después de 7 días?
Now, water flooded the earth,
El agua vino sobre la tierra.
and if the earth was flat, it would run off the edge of the earth.
Y si la tierra hubiera sido plana, se hubiera caído por los bordes de la
When
tierra.
since the earth is not flat, there's gravity and it holds the water to the earth.
Pero como la tierra no es plana, la gravedad está manteniendo al agua.
Like, what are the fountains of the deep?
Como por ejemplo, ¿cuáles son las fuentes del abismo?
What's the window in the sky?
¿Cuáles son las compuertas o
You
ventanas
know, you
del
got the
cielo?
journey song, wheel in the sky keeps on turning. Don't know where I'll be tomorrow. Okay, then it rained. Sorry, we were talking about music earlier. Because everybody here, I know this doesn't fit most of our group, but for people like me, Penny Marshall died today. And I grew up watching Laverne and Shirley. Hello! I'm sure you watched it in Ecuador.
Probably.
So I'm feeling
I would've
kind
died.
of old today. All the actors that I grew up with are dying.
The people that is not supposed to die is dying.
Okay. Anyway, it rained. Like, why did it rain?
¿Por qué llovió?
Okay. Why 40 days and 40 nights?
¿Por qué 40 días y 40 noches?
Okay. So now let's go to the next slide.
Vamos a la siguiente diapositiva.
Now it begins on
Ahora
the
comenzamos.
17th day of the second month.
En el día 17 del mes segundo.
Now the one continent will break apart into many.
El único continente se va a dividir en muchos.
Rain will come down from heaven for the very first time.
La lluvia va a caer desde el cielo por primera vez.
Okay, so the synopsis is very important.
La sinopsis es muy importante.
Now, Noach has been building this thing for 100 years because it's the 600th year,
Ahora Noah estuvo construyendo esta arca por 100 años
and we know that from Genesis
y
5
sabemos esto por Génesis
to
5,
chapter 6,
capítulo 6.
and now finally in the 600th year where you start, the flood is going to come.
Y ahora finalmente en el año 600 el diluvio va a comenzar.
Now, also in the synopsis,
También en la sinopsis
we read that now the one continent will break apart into many.
vemos que el único continente va a dividirse en muchos.
Now, in the beginning of Genesis, when the
En el-
creation of the world,
En el principio de Génesis, en la creación del mundo,
remember Jehovah said the land was gathered into one place.
Jehová dice que la tierra fue reunida o recogida en un solo lugar.
Okay, remember when Jehovah was making the earth,
Recuerda cuando Jehová estaba haciendo la tierra,
the land was gathered into one place and the water was gathered into another place.
la tierra fue reunida en un solo lugar y el agua en otro lugar.
Now the fountains are going to be broken up.
Ahora las fuentes van a ser abiertas.
That's why it looks like Brazil used to fit into Africa.
Por eso es que Brasil pareciera que encaja con el continente africano.
Anybody ever look at a map?
¿Alguien ha visto un mapa?
Okay, and it looks like South America could fit right into Africa.
Que pareciera que el continente sudamericano puede o encaja en África, en el
Well,
continente africano.
At one point it did.
En un punto fue así.
And the Bible tells us that story.
Y la Biblia nos dice esa historia.
Because the Bible is not a collection of stories, it's the history of the world.
Porque la Biblia no es una colección de historias, sino que es la historia del mundo.
But now we're going to study on the fountains being broken up, whether the fountains,
Ahora vamos a ver acerca de las fuentes que se rompieron.
we're going to look at whiny children,
Vamos a ver acerca de niños llorones.
what God does to the whiny children.
¿Y qué hace Dios con los niños llorones?
Okay. Now we're going to see rain on the earth for the first time.
Vamos a ver la lluvia en la tierra por primera vez.
Okay, so we're going to look at all this.
Vamos a mirar todo esto.
Let's go to the next slide.
Vamos a la próxima página.
Okay, now I'm
Diapositiva.
going to slow down
Ahora nos vamos a detener un poquito.
because now we're going to start looking at numbers. Now
Porque
we're going
ahora
to start
vamos a
looking
ver
at numbers.
números. Vamos a ver los números.
We're going to be looking at why we have these numbers,
Vamos a ver por qué tenemos estos números.
what these numbers mean.
¿Qué significan estos números?
Okay, now let's read verse 10 through 12 again.
Vamos a leer otra vez los versos 10 hasta el 12.
After 7 days, the water flooded the earth. On the 17th day of the second month of the 600th year of Noach's life, all the fountains of the great deep were broken up, and the windows of the sky were opened. It rained on the earth 40 days and 40 nights. All right, now we're going to look at verse 10 alone.
Ahora vamos a ver en el versículo 10.
In verse 10, we've already discussed we have two sections.
En el versículo 10 hemos visto que vamos a tener dos secciones.
Now, from our previous study,
Desde nuestro estudio anterior,
Noach is already in the ark.
Noach ya está en el arca.
The Lord has shut the door of the ark.
El Señor ya cerró la puerta del arca.
Now, after 7 days,
Ahora, después de 7 días,
the waters flooded the earth.
las aguas inundaron la tierra.
Okay? So, imagine being in the ark
Imagínate que estás en el arca
now for 7 days.
por 7 días.
Okay? Now, why 7?
¿Por qué 7?
7 is the number of perfection.
7 es el número de perfección.
7 is also the number of completion. You complete a full week.
7 también es el número de completación. Estás completando una semana.
Now, what this speaks of
Lo que habla esto
is waiting,
es esperar,
persevering,
perseverancia
and most of all, trusting.
y más que todo el confiar.
Okay? Now remember, you've been building this thing for 100 years.
Ahora recuerda que has estado construyendo esto por 100 años.
Okay? Now you're waiting in the ark.
Ahora estás esperando en el arca
You don't have the Bible to tell you what's going to happen.
y no tienes la Biblia que te va a decir qué es lo que va a suceder.
You're persevering in this ark.
Tú estás perseverando en esta arca.
I am sure that they could hear the screams of people outside.
Yo estoy seguro que pueden escuchar los gritos de la gente que está afuera.
I'm sure Noach had compassion for his neighbors.
Estoy seguro que Noach tuvo compasión de por sus vecinos,
Because he was a righteous man.
porque él era un hombre justo.
And righteousness teaches you compassion,
Y la justicia te enseña la compasión,
love.
amor.
Because in Torah, we're to love our neighbor as ourselves.
Porque en la Torah dice que debemos amar a nuestro prójimo como a nosotros mismos.
So here in verse 10, we have the first 7 days
Aquí en el versículo 10 tenemos los primeros 7 días
of waiting,
de esperar,
persevering,
perseverar
and trusting.
y confiar.
So imagine that stress level that was inside the ark.
Imagínate ese nivel de estrés que existía en esa arca.
Now remember, it had never rained.
Ahora recuerda que nunca ha llovido.
So you're hearing this thing, on the wood outside.
Entonces estás oyendo este sonido en la madera del arca.
You don't know what is going on outside. You can only imagine.
Tú no sabes lo que está pasando afuera, solo te puedes imaginar.
Maybe you went up to the top of the ark and you're like looking out that little window.
Quizás subieron hasta la parte de arriba del arca y miraban por esa ventana pequeña.
It's 18 inches big, right? It was 18 inches?
Era de 18 pulgadas de alto, de anchura.
Maybe you're putting your hand out there to feel the rain.
Quizás estaban sacando la mano para sentir la lluvia,
But now the ark starts to rock.
pero ahora el arca comienza a moverse.
Because it says in verse 10, the water flooded the earth.
Porque dice en el versículo 10 que las aguas se vinieron sobre la tierra.
So you're waiting.
Estás esperando.
This is the beginning of your persevering.
Este es el comienzo de tu perseverancia.
This is really pushing your trust of Jehovah.
Esto está realmente probando tu confianza en Jehová.
Now imagine if the water got high
Imagínate cuando el agua se levantaba
and the ark has not moved yet.
y el arca no se ha movido aún.
And the people are screaming outside.
Y la gente está gritando afuera.
Let us in!
Déjanos entrar.
Let us in!
Déjanos entrar.
But you're waiting.
Pero estás esperando.
You got to persevere.
Tienes que perseverar.
Huh? You're waving. Sorry, you should have thought about that. For 100 years, I was trying to tell you this was going to happen.
Por 100 años se trata de decir que esto va a suceder.
Okay? Now, imagine, I want you to put yourself in that position.
Quiero que ustedes estén en esa posición.
Because we may be put in that position.
Porque quizás seamos puestos en una posición así.
We who study the Word of God
Nosotros que estudiamos la palabra de Dios,
know that things are about to get pretty bad.
Sabemos que las cosas están a punto de ponerse muy mal.
Do you set yourself aside?
¿Te
Separated?
apartas tú? ¿Te apartas tú?
Do you, let's say we move to another area.
O digamos que nos vamos a otra área.
Are we gonna survive like Noach and his
¿Vamos a
family?
sobrevivir como Noach y su familia?
We don't see them in the scripture fighting.
No vemos que en la escritura que están peleando.
What's gonna happen if we have to live separate?
¿Qué va a pasar si tenemos que vivir por separado?
And somebody from the outside tries to come in that doesn't keep Torah or believe in Yeshua.
Y alguien que no viene de aquí y quiere estar ahí, pero no sigue la Torah de Yeshua.
You know, family members are going to try to find you.
¿Es a mí?
I'm full battery, man. They're, just move the mic. Is your phone near it?
My phone is next to the mic, but not next to this.
Okay, just move it just a couple inches.
Okay,
Okay. The transmitter.
okay.
Okay. So, picture Noach.
Imagínate a Noé.
He's 600 years old.
Él tiene 600 años.
He had to know some people.
Él tenía que haber conocido a alguna gente.
He was in the world, but not of the world.
Él estaba en el mundo, pero no era del mundo.
I would think that Noah, it doesn't say in scripture, but let's surmise that he had some brothers and sisters.
No dicen las escrituras, pero quizá podamos imaginarnos que tenía hermanos y hermanas.
I can't prove that from scripture,
No puedo probar eso por las escrituras.
but people had big families, they populated the earth.
Pero la gente tenía familias, mucha familia y llenaron la tierra,
I mean,
poblaron la
if
tierra.
you look at the genealogy, you know that he's got family.
Sí, a veces en la genealogía él tuvo familia.
Mrs. Noach's got to have some brothers or sisters.
La señora Noach tiene que haber tenido hermanos y hermanas.
And now you're in the ark for the first week.
Y ahora están en el arca por la primera semana.
So after 7 days,
Entonces, después de 7 días,
the waters flooded the earth.
las aguas engendraron la tierra.
So that's when the waters flooded the earth,
Y cuando las aguas inundaron la tierra,
that's when life outside ceases to exist.
ahí es cuando la vida fuera del arca deja de existir.
So you got that first 7 days.
Entonces, tienes estos primeros 7 días.
You're worried yourself.
Tú te preocupas de ti mismo.
You don't got the Bible. I
No
really
tiene-
want to make this point very important
No tienes la Biblia. Realmente quiero hacer este punto.
because we have the whole story, everybody.
Porque tenemos toda la historia.
Like I was preparing the lesson for this week's parasha
Como cuando estaba preparando la lección para la parasha de esta semana.
and how it parallels Shemot, Exodus chapter 10 through 12 parallels Revelation.
Y como Éxodos capítulo 10 al 12 se paralela con Apocalipsis.
How Pharaoh hardens his own heart.
Como el faraón mismo endurece su corazón.
How his servants harden their own hearts against Jehovah Elohim.
Como los siervos del faraón enduraron su corazón en contra de Elohim.
And you say, how could they do that?
Y tú dices, ¿cómo pueden hacer eso?
After all these signs and wonders, how could Pharaoh do that?
Después de todas estas señales y prodigios, ¿cómo pudo el faraón hacer esto?
People haven't changed.
La gente no ha cambiado.
Because in the book of Revelation, the same thing happens.
Porque en el libro de Apocalipsis lo mismo sucede.
Now, why am I bringing that up?
¿Por qué es que traigo esto a conocimiento?
Verse 10. Then I'll
En
get
el
to your question, Yosef.
versículo 10.
After 7 days, the water flooded the earth. What's going through their mind in that 7 days?
¿Qué está pasando en su cabeza durante estos 7 días?
One, I would hope we don't see it in Scripture, but they would be thanking Jehovah Elohim.
Quizá, aunque no vemos en la escritura, quizá están agradeciendo a Jehová Elohim.
Because they're living. And
Por-
now the screams have stopped.
Porque ellos están viviendo y los gritos se detuvieron.
That's why we pray also after dinner.
Por eso es que también oramos después de la cena.
In Devarim 8, verse 10, you're to thank Jehovah to say, I'm satisfied, and
En
I'm satisfied with my dinner.
Devarim 8, versículo 10 dice que debes agradecer y que estás satisfecho con la comida.
So in that 7 days,
En esos 7 días,
what's going on in your brain?
¿qué está sucediendo? ¿Qué piensas?
If you're living in a separated community,
Si estás viviendo en una comunidad por separado,
there's going to be no cell phone usage.
no va a haber uso de teléfono o celular.
Because if we're living in a separate community that we talked about in this past Shabbat's lesson,
Porque si estamos viviendo en una comunidad separada, así como hablamos en la lección de Shabbat,
if we live with Torah and Yeshua,
si vivimos con Torah y Yeshua,
Jehovah has promised he will protect us.
Jehová ha prometido que nos va a proteger.
But you're going to want to turn on that cell phone.
Pero vas a querer prender ese teléfono.
And then your pagan family is going to want to contact you.
Y tu
Because they know now.
familia pagana va a querer contactarte porque ellos ya saben.
I'm sure they were banging on the ark.
Estoy seguro que estaban ellos golpeando en el arca.
Hey, Noach, you were right. Let me in. I'm sorry.
No, déjame entrar, lo lamento.
Why do we have verse 10?
¿Por qué tenemos el versículo 10?
What is the purpose that he made them wait 7 days for the water to flood the entire earth?
¿Por qué les hizo esperar? ¿O cuál fue el propósito de hacerles esperar 7 días hasta que el agua inunda la tierra?
What's it doing to the people outside?
¿Qué está haciendo la gente afuera?
What's it doing to the people inside?
¿Qué está haciendo la gente que está dentro?
We know Ham is not a righteous man because remember he's over 100 years old.
Vemos que Ham no es un hombre justo, ya él tiene 100 años de edad.
So what's the purpose of verse 10?
¿Cuál es el propósito del versículo 10?
Did you ever stop and really think about it?
¿Has pensado realmente lo que está sucediendo?
Joseph.
Going back regarding what Robbie said, when people start knocking on the ark, once the doors are closed, putting in these days right now, seeing how things are going, I truly believe it's gonna be the first hardest test for every human being, because as we know, family members is the hardest thing that you don't want to let go, and it's just how it is. And now I see it from the other part, within the 7 days, are you willing to give up between those 7 days? Because you know your family, the door is closed, and now probably can be a family member. You don't know you don't have a certainty, but you hear that voice. Are you willing to give up God at that moment and say, you know what, I'm done. I'm leaving now this ark, and I'm out of here. So this is gonna be the first hardest test for each one of us. For those who had not chosen the Messiah in spirit and in truth.
Mm.
How hard is this going to be? It's up to them. How strong are they holding on to Yeshua's seats?
In Spanish.
Mi punto de vista sobre la situación en cuanto al ser humano, a nuestros hermanos, familiares, en el momento que se cerró la puerta del arca, como vemos aquí en el versículo 10, es de que como seres humanos estamos tan atados a apegados a nuestros familiares, de que esta sería, yo personal veo el punto de que creo que sería la primera mayor prueba antes de que llegue la inundación, en que tú sabes que puede ser tu hermano, tu mamá o tu familia porque tú estás dentro, y será que durante esos 7 días que la puerta está cerrada, aún no ha comenzado a llover, tú vas a decidir o Yeshua o Dios, o vas a decir, ¿sabes qué? Yo me niego a Yeshua y yo me voy con mi familia y me quedo con ellos. Y viendo que esto es lo más fuerte, ahora aquí la única manera que esto sabremos que no sucederá, y vas a tener una decisión que hacer: o estoy agarrado, sostenido de los tzitzis de Yeshua para no perder la fe de que Yeshua y su Padre es quien nos va a salvar de todo esto.
It's going to be hard.
Va a ser duro.
But imagine the stress Imagine the stress in the ark.
Imagínate ese estrés en el arca,
Because we already know that Ham is not righteous.
porque ya sabemos que Ham no es justo.
So imagine him wanting to get out of the ark. We don't have it in Scripture, but just let's hypothesize.
Pongamos esta hipótesis que quizá Ham quería salirse del arca.
This is why in a community that's going to be saved,
Por eso es que en una comunidad que va a ser salva,
they all must be echad with the leader.
tienen todos que estar en unidad, en comunión con el líder.
And in the art of war, you must be in echad with the leader.
Y en el arte de la guerra tú debes estar unido en comunión con el líder.
And if you're not echad with the leader,
Y si no estás en comunión con el líder,
you're going to be a dead person.
vas a vas a morir.
Elizabeth.
I just want to mention in regards to this whole destruction and all of that. Yeshua in Matthew 24 he spoke about all these things and he referred to like the family of the people, you know, the believers. These are the same people that are gonna like give you out so somebody else could kill you. You know, they're gonna show the true color at the end of the day. You know, if they're gonna have to kill you so they can survive, they will. Like God is gonna like, so we should not like be so attached to family or whatever, especially if they're not serving the Lord. You know, we have a family now that Yeshua provide for us. You know, might as well just get along, everybody. You know.
You got to get the only way to get along
La única manera de llevarse
is to be echad with God.
es estar en comunión con Dios.
And some people say, well, I don't read it that way.
Y la gente dirá, ¿por qué no leemos de esta manera?
I don't see it that way.
Yo no lo veo de esa manera.
Right, Korach? Right, Korach?
Oh, ¿verdad, Korak? I'm looking. Who's Korak?
We're all priests, Korach
Todos
said.
somos sacerdotes.
And God was walking with them.
Y Dios estaba caminando con ellos.
Imagine we're living together.
Imagínate que estamos viviendo juntos.
And the fourth seal happens.
Y el cuarto sello se abre.
I know a farmer that said it was raining on his farm and it wasn't raining on the farm right next to
Yo
his.
sé de un agricultor que decía que llovía en su lado de su campo, pero en el otro campo no llovía.
Well, they're starving, Rabbi, they're starving.
Pero están muriéndose de hambre, rabino.
Well, there's only food for enough for us.
Solo hay suficiente para nosotros.
What do you do?
¿Qué vas a hacer?
This is why we have the Word of God.
Por eso es que tienes la palabra de Dios.
God will provide,
Dios proveerá,
protect,
protegerá
and give shalom
y dará paz
to those that walk with Him
para aquellos que caminan con Él.
now.
Ahora.
Now, Noach had to persevere for 100 years
Ahora Noach tuvo que perseverar por 100 años
and do what Jehovah had told him.
y hacer lo que Jehová le ha dicho.
Adriana, I knew that, get the microphone. I knew this would start a great discussion. That's why I went quick on the other part. No, but this is why this is an education ministry.
Por esta razón es que este es un ministerio educativo.
You know, there's donuts now, there won't be then. Oscar's diving for the donut. Okay, Adriana. Don't do it, Betsy.
Betsy's like, I want to sleep tonight.
All right.
Sugar attack.
Adriana. See, if you were at Bible study, you can have good stuff too. Organic food and non-organic called donuts.
Non-organic sugar.
Hey, Adriana.
Rabbi, I think that's the reason why the Jehovah kind of train us during our journeys, because we are supposed to become and set apart. And when you try and work on that, you find yourself a lot of times saying no to a lot of worldly or family issues and events and happenings. So you kind of like little by little kind of distance from them, and the Lord provides you the shalom. I remember in the beginning, it was hard for me to say no to my grandchildren or my son, but the last few months it's like I just say no, and I feel, it is what it is. I think the Lord, and when you said that Noah was righteous and his family said except Ham, maybe they already walked that path, and that's why they became righteous, because they weren't hanging out or compromising themselves with their family members or their relatives. And then slowly during those 100 years, they became, and I'm sure they were sad and had compassion for them, but it was a journey. 100 years.
100-year journey.
Yeah.
We have a 100-year journey,
Tenemos un viaje de 100 años
and we got a 40-year journey across the desert.
y tuvimos un viaje de 40 años a través del desierto.
It's something to think about,
Un trayecto, es algo de que debemos pensar,
because Yeshua says in Matthew 24
porque Yeshua dice en Mateo 24
that these things are going to happen.
que estas cosas van a suceder.
And we're seeing this. We're not even in the beginning anymore. We're full throttle.
Y no estamos ni siquiera en el comienzo y estamos metidos en esto completamente o a toda máquina en esto.
Everything is against the word of God.
Todo es en contra de Dios, de la palabra de Dios.
So we got to be well founded in a good firm foundation.
Por eso tenemos que estar bien firmes en una fundación firme.
You okay there, Ramon? Oh, I can see he's awake. He's got his camera on. All right, verse 10.
Versículo 10.
See, if you're out there, if you want to be interactive also, you can go to our web. We are also on WebEx also.
También si quieres hacer preguntas puedes entrar a la página de WebEx.
But you'll have to get your own donuts or organic fruit
Pero vas a tener que ver tu propia comida orgánica o
or real
chatarra.
good coffee.
Un café muy bueno.
Well, actually, I'm drinking hibiscus fig tea and green tea. All right, verse 10.
Versículo 10.
Let's go a little further.
Vamos un poquito más.
Okay, only got an hour to get through the next parts, and I'm sure there's going to be a discussion. Verse 10, after 7 days, the water flooded the earth. Okay, the key to verse 10 is the water flooded the earth.
La clave aquí es que las aguas del diluvio vinieron sobre la
The
tierra.
word flooded in the Ivrit, in the Hebrew,
La palabra para inundar o diluvio en el hebreo es,
the root word is H3999.
esa palabra raíz H3999.
It is the Hebrew root word mabul.
Esa palabra hebrea mabu
It means flood or deluge.
significa inundación o diluvio.
Okay, so this is the beginning of the flood on the earth,
Es el comienzo de la inundación en la tierra
and it continued from there for 40 more days and 40 nights.
y continúa ahí más por 40 días y 40 noches.
So after 7 days, the water flooded.
Después de 40 días, I'm sorry.
After 7 days,
Oh,
the earth
después-
was flooded,
Ok, después de 7 días que la tierra estaba inundada,
but it's also going to continue raining after the 40 days.
va a continuar lloviendo por los próximos 40 días.
And the water's going to continue to rise,
Y el agua va a continuar levantándose, subiendo el
and
nivel.
that's why we know the world is not flat,
Por eso es que sabemos que la tierra no es plana,
because the water would have went over the wall.
porque si no el agua se hubiera pasado de
And if the
de
world
los
was
límites.
and if the world was flat, we'd be able to find the end.
Y si la tierra sería plana, hubiéramos podido encontrar
We
el
got
final,
planes
llegar
now.
al final.
Okay? Now, it would be 150 days
Serían 150 días
until the water would start to go back a little bit.
hasta que las aguas comiencen a ceder un poco.
So this is the beginning of the flood.
Este es el comienzo del diluvio.
Let's go on to the next slide,
Vamos a la siguiente
because I
diapositiva,
know this is going to start a big discussion.
porque yo sé que esto va a comenzar una discusión muy grande.
Let's go to verse number 11.
Vamos al versículo 11.
On the 17th day of the second month of the 600th year of Noach's life, all the fountains of the great deep were broken up, and the windows of the sky were open. Okay? So now we're going to start something very interesting.
Ahora vamos a comenzar algo importante, interesante.
In verse 11, there are 5 sections that we're going to go over.
En el versículo 11 hay 5 secciones que vamos a ver.
We're going to try to get through these 2 verses in the next hour.
Vamos a tratar de aprender de estos 2 versos en esta hora.
So let's look and let's ask the question.
Hagamos la pregunta.
And we'll start with Marty.
Comenzaremos con el hermano Martín.
Why is it the 17th day of the second month?
¿Por qué es el día 17 del año del mes segundo?
Marty, you turned your camera off. You've gone black. He's gone dark. Oh, and there he is. Got the light behind him. You're muted. And this is a hard one. I had to research this one because I always had this question too.
I don't know.
All right, that's cool. He doesn't know. Let's see. Denise, I'm going to ask you this. Give us your thoughts.
If you don't know, Rabbi,
No, I do know.
and you had to research it, there's no way I can even come up with anything like this.
But what do you think? Is there any holy day in the second month?
¿Hay algún día santo en el...
And then the second week, then you have second,
You got your sidearm on, Marty?
second Pesach,
Oh, I thought you had your firearm.
second Pesach,
Yeah.
Second month, 7.
Shavuot's the third month.
The third one?
Shavuot.
Try counting like after,
No, it's el
You're muted. Okay.
like when they're no mer, the count of the Omer.
The counting of the Omer, but there's no holy day.
Ah, that's true.
What's the 17th day of the second? Asher, chill out tonight, man. Stop being complaining. I'm going to give you a flippy. Bikurim? No, the Bikurim is in the first month.
The second month,
17th, specifically, listen. 17th day of the second month.
El día-
17th day.
17 del segundo mes.
well, in the second month, we have the second Pesach.
When's the second Pesach?
Is the 10th day of the second month.
No.
I mean, is the, oh yeah, is the 14th day of the second month.
14th day.
Yeah, and then the 15th is Hag Matzah.
We don't have a second Hag Matzah. It's cool. I want you to think.
I was getting close.
You're getting closer, maybe.
Now it's your turn.
I said second Pesach.
I say something.
You ran with that. I let you run because I let him catch up and catch you.
Anybody?
Funny on that one.
Anybody?
The seventh, no, let us.
There's gotta be a Shabbat involved in there.
Because it's
Which
a-
is a holiday
Oh,
too.
yes.
Shabbat.
Well, Shabbat, there's
Yes,
50.
gotta-
How many weeks in the year?
52.
There's 52 Shabbats.
Hay 52
So one of the
semanas.
Shabbat's gotta be in there and it's a holiday too.
But this,
No?
no.
Second Pesach.
17th day of the second month.
En el día 17 del segundo mes.
Now the first part,
La primera parte.
there's a great debate
Hay un gran debate.
that the second month is the religious year, that it's in September,
Que el segundo mes es el año religioso, es septiembre.
or there's a debate where this is actually the second month of the biblical year.
O es, también se dice que este es el segundo mes del año bíblico.
Okay, so some say it was in April,
Algunos dicen que fue en abril
and some others determine that it's been October, September, October.
y hay otros determinan que fue en septiembre
Wait.
u octubre.
You've translated, so wait. Now say it.
I said, but wouldn't spring be in the first part of the year?
I'm just giving you the information, the argument.
September, where that's
Okay. Now say that in Spanish.
Eh,
You okay to talk about?
spring,
Primavera.
primavera.
Primavera, that's a
Estamos
pretty good.
hablando que se está, o es la primavera o es el otoño. Yo digo que aquí dice que es la primavera, entonces tiene que ser donde está abril, marzo o abril. Pero dicen que puede ser en septiembre, pero en septiembre es el otoño. Entonces, si están hablando de la primavera, tiene que ser en abril.
Okay. So in Judaism,
En el judaísmo
there's the 2 years.
hay los 2 años.
Not biblical Judaism, rabbinic Judaism.
No bíblico, judaísmo bíblico, pero rabínico.
So in the rabbinic Judaism, you have the new year starting around Yom Teruah.
En el judaísmo rabínico dice que comienza el año en Yom Teruah.
And Sukkot is the 15th day of the 7th month.
Y Sukkot es el día 15 del séptimo mes.
But it's not the 17th day of the 2nd month.
Pero no es el día 17 del segundo mes.
Why does the flood begin on the 17th day of the 2nd month?
Porque el diluvio comienza en el día 17 del segundo mes.
Oscar, you had your hand up? No? There's something in my eye.
There must be something connected.
Oh, don't worry, I'll get to it.
From,
Rama,
Ramon!
if that explanation is valid, so then if it could be the man, I forgot what I was thinking.
Que café con leche.
Right here in the commentary of the rabbi says that that's when the reading in oral Torah was given, but that's again is rabbinic. But the argument that you just were giving about the rabbis on the second month of Rosh Hashanah, it could be the judgment day, but if you put together that thought of the rabbis, I don't know, maybe, because that's what they called the New Year, Rosh Hashanah, the day of judgment. I don't know.
Day of Judgment. Say that in Spanish.
Lo que le estaba comentando al rabbi es que aquí en el comentario del Humash dice que los rabinos piensan que fue el día cuando se entregó la Torah escrita y la oral. Pero le digo al rabbi también el argumento que él dio de que los rabinos explican del Rosh Hashanah o del Año Nuevo. En el judaísmo, Rosh Hashanah es el día cuando comienza el juicio. Hay juicio. Es lo que me vino a la mente. No sé si está bien.
There's a Shemitah year. When does the Shemitah begin? Yom Teruah of the 50th year. Or the 7th year. Right? It's interesting. It's good to think about it.
Es bueno pensar.
Okay. So some say it's in April,
Algunos dicen que es en abril
and some determine that it's in September, October.
y algunos determinan que fue en septiembre o octubre.
Yosef, get the microphone.
I will say that the second month will be more closer to the April because again, if the first month is in the spring, according the first month, this will be your first month according to Exodus. Then when we went out of Egypt, we did the Pesach. That's why the Lord had told Moshe, tell Pharaoh that you bringing everything with you. Moshe has told, no, we are taking our cattle, our cows, and everything because we have to offer to Jehovah on this feast. So they took that, they gave sacrifice or offerings for Jehovah on Pesach. So after that, this is why it makes me believe more that the second month is after that. So something must have happened right after that we're probably, because we're not reading the right way, in the Torah, in Exodus. So it must be between that. I certainly believe the second month is between that area time, depending what time the Pesach is.
Well, the Pesach is the 14th day of
The
first
14th
month
day-
or the 14th day of the second
first
month.
So now you have a month and 3 days with it to say it. That which is going to be 17 days.
Why the 17th day of the second month? Do we have anything that happens?
El becerro de oro.
When was,
The
what
golden
is it,
calf?
the first Bikurim is what?
The first
What day
Bik-
is that?
the Bikurim does not have a set date. Español.
Bicorim no tiene un día señalado.
In this week's Oneg scripture snack says it's going to be on the monitors.
En esta semana,
I got a new
las
thing for
escrituras
Oneg.
en Oneg.
While you're sitting there, we're going to have Bible questions coming up on the screen. Oneg scripture snacks. Yeah, I'm going to try to do a new one each week.
Vamos a tratar de tener preguntas durante la Oneg.
Okay, so Bikurim is on the morrow after the Sabbath of Passover.
Bicorim es en el día después de la Pascua, de Pesach.
Okay,
Passover.
so you
El
have
sábado,
to
Shabbat.
you have to have Pesach,
Tienes la Pascua,
Which is-
Pascua,
which is like a Shabbat, but you can cook.
que es como un Shabbat, pero puedes cocinar.
Then you have to have HaShabbat,
Y después tienes que entrar en HaShabbat, que es el
Yom
Shabbat,
Zakor HaShabbat, the Shabbat.
que es el día de Shabbat, el día específico de Shabbat.
Then you have the Bikurim at sundown or that day, which will always be a Sunday.
Y el Bicorim será en el atardecer el final de Shabbat, lo que conocemos como domingo.
But not a set biblical date.
Pero no tiene una fecha oficial o establecida.
But here in verse 11,
Aquí en el versículo 11,
Jehovah begins the flood.
Jehová comienza el diluvio.
He's going to destroy something and start something new.
Él va a destruir algo y a comenzar con algo nuevo.
He's going to destroy something,
Él va a destruir algo
and there's going to be a lot of screaming people,
y va a haber mucha gente gritando.
and he's going to start something new.
Y él va a comenzar algo nuevo.
Okay? Yes, Elizabeth, grab the microphone. Miss Mother of a Graduate. Elizabeth graduated today. She finished school, finished college. Yay.
Do you say that there isn't a specific holiday in that specific time, or that something happened in that specific time? Because those are two different things.
Jehovah is so amazing.
Jehová es tan increíble,
Yeah, increíble.
asombroso.
He always has a plan.
Él tiene un plan.
Like in the Gan Eden,
Como en el Ganadán,
he says, I will put enmity between your seed and his seed.
voy a poner enemistad entre tu semilla y su semilla.
He prophesies the virgin birth in the Gan Eden.
Él profetiza el nacimiento virginal en el Ganadán.
So he already has a plan.
Él ya tiene un plan.
So he's talking about something very interesting on the 17th day of the second month.
Él está hablando algo interesante en el día 17 del segundo mes.
Don't worry, we'll get to it. It's a very interesting thing.
What I can find.
It's good. Think about the Word of God. That's an awesome thing.
Yeah.
Piensen acerca de la palabra de Dios, es algo.
This portion of the Bible to match together with Revelation. So maybe there's something in Revelation that ties together with the conduct, no?
Nope. It's good thought. Oscar was saying it matches something with Revelation.
El hermano Oscar estaba diciendo que hay algo que tiene que ver con la...
Good thought. Good thought.
It's the end,
17th day of the second month.
En el día 17 del segundo mes.
Let's go to the next slide.
Vamos
Now
a
we're
la-
going to get our answer.
Ahora vamos a ver la respuesta.
Huh?
Vamos a ver la respuesta.
Okay. Let's read verse 10 through 12.
Veamos a los versículos 10 al 12.
After 7 days, the water flooded the earth. On the 17th day of the second month of the 600th year of Noach's life, all the fountains of the great deep were broken up, and the windows of the sky were opened. It rained on the earth 40 days and 40 nights. Okay, now, 17th day of the second month,
El día 17 del segundo mes.
Jehovah has a plan.
Jehová tiene un plan.
Now, according to the book of Bamidbar, the book of Numbers, chapter 9,
De acuerdo con el libro de Bamidbar?
Bamidbar, numeros.
Yeah, números, what chapter?
Nueve.
I'm sorry. 9,
Nine.
versículos 6 al 13.
Bamidbar 9, verse 6 through 13.
Números 9, capítulo 9, versículos 6 al 13.
Yah establishes a second Pesach.
Jehová establece una segunda Pascua
Okay? For those who didn't celebrate the first Pesach, I put the
para aquellos que
I
no
spelled it wrong.
para aquellos que no celebraron la primera Pascua.
We're supposed to celebrate the Pesach in the first month on the 14th day at evening.
Se supone que debemos celebrar la Pascua en el primer mes en la atardecer del día 14.
But if what would stop you from celebrating Pesach 1?
¿Qué es lo que te detendría en el dejar de celebrar Pesach 1?
Unclean.
Unclean for some purpose.
Or a trip. Or not being in the
Unclean.
in a trip.
You're unclean.
Están impuros
You've unclean by touching a dead body.
e impuros por tocar un cuerpo.
Unclean for touching a dead body. Unclean by touching a dead body.
Impuro por tocar un cadáver. Okay.
You touched blood.
Tocaste sangre.
Like a couple of years ago, we used to minister to a group in France.
Como unos años atrás nosotros ministrábamos a un grupo en Francia.
On Friday morning, I used to meet with a group in France
El
that had a
viernes-
Messianic home fellowship.
En viernes en la mañana me reunía con un grupo en Francia que era una reunión en la casa.
And it used to be translated from English to French.
Y traducíamos de inglés a francés.
One, right before Pesach one year,
Un día, hubo un año que antes de la Pascua,
the leader of the group, her father died.
el líder del grupo, su padre falleció.
She had to go to, I think it was Norway or Sweden.
Ella tuvo que irse a Holanda o a Suiza. Noruega.
It was in her
Suiza.
home. She
En su
wasn't
casa.
leading, I was leading. I said woman.
Dije mujer.
I said woman.
Dije mujer.
She was not leading the group.
Ella no estaba liderando el grupo.
She opened up her home and I was leading.
Ella abrió su casa para la gente y yo estaba liderando.
Okay? So one year her father died.
Un día su padre murió.
So she had to bury him
Ella tuvo que
the
sepultarlo
week of Pesach.
en la semana de Pascua.
So she touched the dead body
Entonces ella tocó el cadáver
on Pesach.
en Pascua.
So she and her children could not celebrate the first Pesach.
Entonces ella y sus hijas no pudieron celebrar la Pascua.
So she had to celebrate the second Pesach, which we're given in Bamidbar 9.
Entonces ellas tuvieron que celebrar la segunda Pascua que dice aquí en Números 9.
So in Bamidbar 9, you celebrate it in the second month,
En Números 9 tienes que celebrarlo en el segundo mes.
on the 14th day of the second month.
En el día 14 del segundo mes.
So let's establish the pattern,
Establezcamos este patrón,
because we're looking for the 17th day of the second month.
porque estamos buscando el significado del día 17 del segundo mes.
Okay, so the second Pesach you're celebrating because you touched a dead body.
La segunda Pascua tú estás celebrando porque tocaste el cadáver de alguien.
3 days following the Pesach,
3 días después de la Pascua
would be the 17th day of the second month.
sería el día 17 del segundo mes.
It patterns after the resurrection.
Y esto se cuadra con la resurrección.
So Jehovah floods the earth
So Jehová inunda la tierra
on the 17th day
en el día 17
of the second month.
del segundo mes.
So if you celebrate on the 14th,
Si lo celebras en el 14,
at the end of the 14th,
al final del 14,
the resurrection would be the 17th day.
la resurrección sería en el día 17.
Now this will get deeper once you understand the 40.
Ahora esto se va a profundizar más cuando entiendas lo que es el número 40.
All right, so let me just finish this and I'm going to take the questions because this is a real interesting thought.
Vamos a terminar esta parte para después tener las preguntas.
So you're celebrating the second Pesach in the second month
Está celebrando la segunda Pascua en el segundo mes
because of you touched a dead thing in the first month.
porque tocaste un cadáver en el primer mes.
So the Lord is pointing to overcoming death with the water.
Entonces el Señor está aquí señalando el overcoming. No, venciendo a la muerte con el agua.
And this is tied together with verse 12
Y esto se relaciona con el versículo 12,
because he's giving you more information in the Ivrit.
porque Él te está dando más información en el hebreo.
Because 40 is the letter Mem.
Porque 40 es la letra mem.
Mem is all about water and the womb.
La letra mem es acerca del agua o el
So
vientre.
here, 3 days following the Pesach,
Aquí 3 días después de la Pascua,
15th, 16th, 17th. When did Yeshua rise from the grave?
cuando Yeshua resucitó de la muerte,
On the 17th day of the first month.
en el día 17 del primer mes.
But he's flooding the earth on the second month.
Pero lo está haciendo en el segundo mes.
Why are you celebrating Pesach in the second month?
¿Por qué estás celebrando la Pascua en el segundo mes?
Because you're unclean.
Porque estás impuro.
The world is unclean.
El mundo está impuro.
He's wiping it out
Le está eliminando o limpiando
with the water,
con el agua,
which ties together with 40 days and 40 nights.
que se data con 40 días y 40 noches.
And the significance of the mem.
Y la significancia o el significado
Wait
de
till
la
you see what the mem is. This is getting real deep into gematria
Esto nos lleva más profundo a la gematria
and the profoundness of the Hebrew language
y
that
la
Rabed has been teaching in Road to Emmaus.
profundidad del lenguaje hebreo. Que
Each letter is significant
cada letra tiene su significado.
because each word with each letter tells a story.
Porque cada palabra con cada letra dice una historia.
So the 17th day of the second month is not a biblical holy day.
El día séptimo, 17 del segundo mes, no es un día bíblicamente santo.
But you're celebrating the Pesach
Pero está celebrando la Pascua
and the resurrection
y la resurrección
because you were unclean in the second month.
porque estás impuro en el segundo mes.
Because Jehovah already knows the beginning from the end.
Porque Jehová ya sabe el comienzo hasta el final.
Rev Eduardo, give him the microphone. Well, everybody else has got to hear it because
Go ahead, Asher.
I think also has to be with for the altar, because the altar also has to be in a clean, clean spot. So for him to be able to offer, it has to be because he raised the altar, he offered to Jehovah. So he could not build an altar in the unclean place. Right?
mm-hmm. He couldn't build an altar in an unclean place.
No puede construir un altar en un lugar impuro.
And that ties together with the fountains of the deep were broken up.
Y esto también se ata con lo que las fuentes del abismo se rompieron.
Go ahead, Elizabeth.
Where are the fountains of the deep?
Don't worry, we're going to get to that.
Where are they located? Upstairs? or-
Downstairs.
Downstairs? Okay.
Downstairs. To whom?
The Christian
To whom? We're going to get to the Hebrew word to whom, which is to whom is the fountains of the deep.
Tajunes, las vientres de la profundidad.
There's water in the center of the earth.
Hay agua en el centro de la tierra.
That's why you can drill and get your water.
Por eso es que puedes tú cavar y obtener agua.
That's why Oscar, when he was a kid in Guatemala, dug a well to get water for his family.
Por eso Oscar, cuando era pequeño en Guatemala, él excavó una fuente o un pozo.
So the 17th day of the second month speaks of a resurrection.
El día 17 del segundo mes habla de resurrección.
Let's go on to the next slide.
Vamos a la siguiente diapositiva.
We're going to answer Elizabeth's question
Ahora vamos a responder a la pregunta de la hermana Elizabeth.
because you asked a question. Where are the fountains?
Where are they? Yeah. I just don't want to go there. I'm afraid of deep water.
You can't go down there because you'll get crushed to death.
Yeah.
Even submarines can't go down there.
I'm okay with it.
All right, verse 10 through 12.
Versículos 11 al 12.
After 7 days, the water flooded the earth. On the 17th day of the second month of the 600th year of Noach's life, all the fountains of the great deep were broken up, and the windows of the sky were opened. It rained on the earth 40 days and 40 nights. So here in our next part,
Aquí en la siguiente parte
we get a date.
tenemos una fecha.
Now, remember Noach had 3 sons when he was 500 years old?
Recuerda que Noach tuvo a sus 3 hijos cuando él tenía 500 años.
And now it's 600 years, so it's been 100 years.
Ahora son 600 años, han sido 100 años.
Okay, all the fountains of the deep were broken up.
Se rompieron todas las fuentes del abismo.
Okay, the word fountain is H4599, the root word.
La palabra para fuentes es H4599.
It is the Hebrew root word mayan
Es la palabra mayan
or mayaneo.
o mayeno.
Mayeno, sorry, not maye. It's no
Mayana,
aye.
mana.
Mayeno.
Meyeno.
It's a nun and a vav. Okay, meaning springs.
¿Qué significa fuente?
Springs, water comes out of a spring.
O manantiales, el agua sale de un manantial.
So the fountains of the deep are going to be, this great fountains are going to release water.
Las fuentes o los manantiales de la profundidad va a liberar agua.
And that ties together with the beginning of the book of Bereshit,
Y esto se ata con el comienzo de Bereshit,
where the Lord watered the earth from inside. The water came up from inside.
cuando el Señor regaba las plantas desde la profundidad para afuera.
Remember for a bunch of years, we've all been noticing those sinkholes?
Recuerdas que por unos años estuvimos viendo todos estos huecos que aparecían en la tierra.
And you'll see like lakes disappear overnight.
Y también hubieron lagos que se desaparecieron de un día al otro, una noche.
Where's the water going?
¿A dónde se fue el agua?
Boy, Lord's filling it back up. Let's go next slide.
Está llenándose esas fuentes otra vez.
Now, where are the fountains?
¿Dónde están las fuentes o los
Let's read
manantiales?
verse 11.
Leamos el versículo 11.
On the 17th day of the second month, the 600th year of Noach's life, all the fountains of the great deep were broken up, and windows of the sky were opened. Okay? So here, the fountains of the great deep.
Las fuentes de las fuentes de la profundidad, de las grandes profundidades.
The word deep
La palabra profundidad
is H8415.
es H8415.
The root word is tohum.
La palabra hebrea es tahum.
It means, number one, deep,
Tahum. Significa profundo,
deep places,
lugares profundos,
the abyss,
el abismo,
Number 2,
Número 2,
deep of subterranean waters.
la profundidad de aguas subterráneas.
Okay, I'm going to do the definitions and we're going to speak about the definition. The abyss of the sea,
El abismo
number
del
3.
mar, número 3.
Okay, number 4, primeval ocean, deep.
La profundidad de del océano.
Number 5, depth of river.
Número 5, la profundidad del río.
Number 6, the abyss of the grave.
Y número 6, el abismo de la tumba.
So let's take that.
Tomemos eso.
Let's think about that for a second because maybe you're having a problem with the 17th day of the second month.
Veamos un poco más porque quizá tienes problemas con el entendimiento del día 17.
So let's see what the Hebrew, what the Lord is building here.
Veamos lo que el hebreo, qué nos está enseñando el hebreo aquí.
Because here we're looking at in this second month of the 17th day.
Porque aquí estamos observando en el segundo mes del día 17 del segundo mes.
We're looking at the resurrection.
Estamos observando la resurrección.
So here, Jehovah is saying the great deep was broken up.
Jehová dice que la gran profundidad se rompió.
The word Tehom means the abyss of the grave.
La palabra Tahom significa el abismo de la tumba.
The grave couldn't hold Yeshua,
La tumba no pudo mantener a Yeshua
and he overcame death
y él venció a la muerte
on the 17th day.
en el día 17.
You see where Jehovah's taking us?
Si ves donde Jehová nos está
No, you
llevando.
don't have to believe it because it's not a holy day.
No tienes que creerlo porque no es un día santo.
But I'm like, why would you have that there?
Pero digo, ¿por qué tienes eso aquí?
What would be the purpose of having us 17th day of the second month?
¿Por qué? ¿Cuál es el propósito del día 17 del segundo mes?
Why are you celebrating the second Pesach instead of the first?
¿Por qué? I'm sorry.
Why are you celebrating the second Pesach instead of the first?
¿Por qué está celebrando la segunda Pascua en lugar de la primera?
Well, each verse or each part of the verse
Cada parte del verso
is giving you more information
te está dando más información
if you know what you're looking at.
si sabes lo que estás mirando.
But once again, it's not a holy day,
Pero una vez más no es un día santo.
but we're trying to understand why Jehovah chose that day and why is it written.
Estamos tratando de escoger, de entender por qué Jehová escogió este día, por qué está escrito.
Because he's trying to show us something.
Porque Él nos estamos tratando de mostrar algo.
The great deep was broken up to whom? To whom?
Las profundidades fueron abiertas. Tahom.
Tav, He, Vav, Mem, Sofit. To whom?
Tahom.
Okay?
Tehom. Tehom.
To whom means the abyss, the grave.
Significa el abismo, la tumba.
Now remember, now what would happen if the earth all of a sudden broke up like yesterday?
¿Qué sucedería si la tierra de repente se rompe como ayer?
There was a bunch of earthquakes yesterday on the Ring of Fire and 2 volcanoes erupted.
Hubieron muchos temblores en el anillo de fuego y erupcionaron dos volcanes.
Be a lot of earthquakes, right?
Hubo mucho temblor.
What does the scripture say when Yeshua broke out from the grave?
¿Qué dice en la escritura cuando Yeshua se salió de la tumba o de la muerte?
Great earthquake.
Hubo un gran terremoto.
And when did that happen?
¿Y cuándo pasó eso?
The 17th day.
En el día 17.
So now the Lord is breaking up the deep on the 17th day of the second month.
Está también rompiendo la profundidad en el día 17 del segundo mes.
And he's giving you some more information with the Hebrew.
Y te está dando incluso más información con el hebreo.
Okay, so the land masses are broken up begin to break up on the 17th day of the second month.
Las masas de la tierra comienzan a romperse en el día 17 del segundo mes.
Because they were one land mass beforehand.
Porque eran una masa terráquea al principio.
And science will tell you
Y la ciencia te va a decir
that the continents are moving in opposite directions.
que los continentes se están moviendo en direcciones opuestas.
Eventually, they'll run into each other again if the Lord allows the earth to last that long.
Eventualmente se van a chocar entre sí si el Señor nos permite aún vivir en ese tiempo.
Like South America is going one direction,
Como Sudamérica está yendo en una dirección
Africa is going another direction.
y África está dirigiéndose en otra dirección.
Eventually, they're going to meet around the other side of the circle.
Eventualmente se van a encontrar en el otro lado del círculo, de la esfera.
But they began separating on the 17th day of the second month.
Pero comenzaron a separarse en el día 17 del segundo mes.
And then the Lord released the water from inside the earth.
Y el Señor comienza a liberar el agua de las profundidades de la tierra.
Now let's go to verse 11 again.
Vamos al versículo 11 otra vez.
On the 17th day of the second month of the 600th year of Noach's life, all the fountains of the great deep were broken up, and the waters of the windows of the sky were opened. Amen?
Amén.
So now we're going to look at the windows.
Ahora vamos a ver a lo que es las ventanas.
In some translations, it uses the word floodgates.
En algunas traducciones le ponen como las compuertas de la inundación.
Okay? The Hebrew root word is H699.
La palabra hebrea es H699.
It is the Hebrew word aruba,
Esa palabra hebrea aruba,
meaning lattice or window.
que significa enrejado o ventana.
The windows of Hashemayim
Las ventanas de Hashamayim,
of heaven were opened up.
las ventanas de Hashamayim se abrieron,
Because in the heavens there's the waters.
porque en el cielo están las aguas.
And in the beginning of Bereshit, remember we were studying that for a long time also.
Y en el comienzo de Bereshit, que también estamos estudiando eso por mucho tiempo,
The Lord, Jehovah separated the waters from the waters.
Jehová separó las aguas de las aguas.
So he's got water stored up in heaven.
Entonces Él tiene agua en el cielo, almacenado en el cielo.
So here on the 17th day of the second month of the 600th year of Noach's life,
Aquí en el día 17 del segundo mes en la vida de Noach,
Jehovah opens up the earth,
Jehová abre la tierra,
releasing something from inside the earth,
liberando algo de que estaba dentro de la tierra.
just like Yeshua was released from inside the earth.
Como Yeshua fue liberado de la tierra.
Remember, Jonah was released from the fish, from the belly of the
Recuerda
fish.
que Jonah también fue liberado del vientre del pez.
And so now also on that day, it rains for the very first time.
También en este verso vemos que llueve por primera vez.
So here you got water coming from both ends.
Aquí tenemos agua que cae de los dos lados, o sale o cae de los dos lados.
And it began on the 17th day of the second month.
Y comenzó en el día 17 del segundo mes.
So now Jehovah opens up the floodgates of heaven and from inside the earth.
Entonces Jehová abre las ventanas del cielo y abre las puentes del abismo.
You're in the ark for 7 days.
Tú estás en el arca por 7 días.
Now the water's coming up from underneath the ark.
Y ahora el agua está saliendo por debajo del
The
arca.
water's now raining on the ark.
El agua está cayendo sobre el
You've
arca.
never experienced rain in your life.
Nunca experimentaste la lluvia en tu vida.
People at first were like, wow, this is great. Wow, what's this stuff?
La gente al principio quizás estaban maravilladas mirando esto.
And now after a little while, now they're drowning.
Y después de un tiempo están ahogándose.
You're in the ark with your family.
Tú estás en el arca con tu familia.
You don't have the Bible to tell you what's happening next. You just got to ride out the storm.
Tú no tienes la Biblia para que te diga qué es lo que va a pasar después, sino que tienes que pasar la tormenta.
And all this begins on the 17th day of the second month.
Y todo esto comienza en el día 17 del segundo mes.
And here, heaven is raining.
Y aquí del cielo está lloviendo
Water's coming up from the inside.
y el agua está flotando, fluyendo debajo de la tierra.
And everything on the land is about to drown.
Y todo lo que está en la superficie de la tierra está a punto de ahogarse.
And all the subterraneous waters are being released.
Y todas las aguas subterráneas están siendo liberadas.
It's not drowning the fish because they live in water.
No está ahogando a los peces porque ya viven ellos en el agua.
It's not drowning the birds, but now the trees are going to be submerged in water.
No está ahogando a los peces, pero a las aves, pero están los árboles siendo sumergidos.
So the birds are going to have no place to land except on the ark.
Entonces las aves no van a tener lugar donde descansar sino sobre el arca.
Okay? Now here, vast quantities of water are being put on the earth to drown everything.
Hay unas cantidades grandes de agua que están siendo desatadas en la tierra para inundarla.
Let's go to the next slide.
Vamos a la siguiente diapositiva.
Now we're going to go to verse 12,
Vamos a ver el versículo 12,
because now we're going to get the next part of the puzzle.
porque vamos a ver la siguiente pieza del
Everybody
rompecabezas.
interested in tonight's study?
¿Están interesados en el
Are you bored,
estudio?
Denise?
No, not today.
You good there, Ramon, Paco, Pancho Villa,
Mira, I haven't drawn on my phone.
Don Quixote? All right. Let's read 10 through 12.
Leamos los versículos 10 al 12 otra vez.
After 7 days, the water flooded the earth. On the 17th day of the second month of the 600th year of Noach's life, all the fountains of the great deep were broken up, and the windows of the sky were opened. It rained on the earth 40 days and 40 nights. Okay? So now we're going to look at the 40 days and 40 nights. Like, why 40 days?
Ahora vamos a ver por qué 40 días y 40 noches.
So it was falling on the earth for 40 days and 40 nights.
Estuvo lloviendo por 40 días y 40
The
noches.
windows of heaven were opened up.
Las ventanas del cielo fueron abiertas.
All things were in such confusion.
Todas las cosas estaban en una confusión total.
Now here's something to look at.
Ahora aquí vemos algo.
Here's an interesting part.
Hay una parte muy interesante.
Especially like we've been having a lot of this around here for the last couple of days.
Especialmente hemos tenido mucho de esto en los últimos días.
Well, we didn't have rain, but we had a lot of darkness.
No tuvimos mucha lluvia, pero hubo mucha oscuridad.
Today was like the first day in almost a week where it was sunny out.
Hoy día fue, creo, el primer día donde hubo luz o la luz solar.
But when it's raining heavily,
Pero cuando está lloviendo mucho,
there's no difference between day and night.
no hay diferencia entre el día y la noche.
That's why in Genesis 8, verse 22,
Por eso es que en Génesis 8, versículo 22,
it says, day and night shall not cease
dice que
anymore.
día y la noche no dejarán de existir.
Why did he say that?
¿Por qué dice así?
Because in chapter 7,
Porque en el capítulo 7
it's raining 40 days and 40 nights. You don't know day from night.
está lloviendo 40 días y 40 noches, pero no hay diferencias entre cuál es cuál.
This is why he says in verse 22 of chapter 8,
Por eso dice en el versículo 22 del capítulo 8,
day and night shall not cease anymore.
el día y la noche nunca cesarán.
When did it cease the first time?
¿Dónde dejó cuándo cesó la primera vez?
Oh, right there in
Aquí,
verse 12.
en el versículo 12.
This is why in the Torah scroll there's no chapters and verses,
Por eso es que en el rollo de la Torah no hay capítulos ni versos,
because you would read it as one piece.
porque lo vas a leer como una sola pieza.
Now we could go deeper into the Hebrew, but we won't. We need another set? All right, hold on a second, we're changing batteries. You learning something there, Mr. Martin? This is cool stuff, huh? Getting deep on it.
Thank you.
Mr. Joshua, you got Yehoshua?
We're
Cool
ready.
stuff? Pinky.
And the rain?
Pinky.
The brain
Little
is here.
pinky in his arm there.
Pinky's over there.
Okay, so the first part we look at, it rains for 40 days and 40 nights. Why does he say that?
La primera parte dice que llovió por 40 días y 40 noches. ¿Por qué dice eso?
Because the water kept coming for 150 days.
Porque el agua seguía cayendo por 150 días.
But before that, he says the great deep was opened up.
Pero antes de eso dice que las grandes profundidades se abrieron.
Okay, so the water kept coming.
Entonces las aguas seguían fluyendo.
We're going to look at the words later on too.
Y vamos a ver las palabras después.
But it says it rained on the earth 40 days and 40 nights.
Entonces dice aquí que llovió en la tierra por 40 días y 40 noches.
You see how much information you can gain by slowing down.
Si ves cuánta información puedes obtener cuando tú te vas despacio.
And when you slow down,
Y cuando vas despacio,
you see how amazing Jehovah Elohim is.
tú ves cuán maravilloso es Jehová Elohim.
And how important each word of Torah is to our lives.
Y cuán importante cada palabra de la Torah es, la importancia que hay en nuestra vida.
So when it rains, especially when it's pouring like that where it's going to flood, it's dark.
Cuando llueve, especialmente cuando es una tormenta, se oscurece.
That means the sun is obscured, the moon is obscured.
Significa que el sol está oscurecido, está oscurecido, o la luna.
That means if you don't have a watch, which Noach didn't,
Lo que significa que si no tienes un reloj como Noach no tenía,
you don't know when day and night is.
no vas a saber cuándo era el día y la noche.
And if you take a long nap during the day,
O si tomas una siesta muy larga durante el día,
you're going to get your days and nights all screwed up. You'll be up in the middle of the night.
vas a tener tus días y las noches todas mezcladas y
One
vas a
sec.
tener problemas.
And that's what happens to a lot of people that work nights.
Y eso es lo que pasa a mucha gente que trabaja en las noches.
Okay, they get very sick because it messes with your body clock.
Se enferman porque daña el reloj natural del cuerpo.
Okay, so Noach and his family are in the ark.
Noach y su familia están en el arca.
The Lord turns off the lights for 40 days and 40 nights.
El Señor apaga las luces por 40 días y 40 noches.
And this all began the 17th day of the second month.
Y todo esto comenzó en el día 17 del segundo mes.
So here it's going to take us past Shavuot for the first, because when is Shavuot?
Esta vez va a pasar Shavuot, porque cuando celebramos Shavuot,
50th day after the Bikurim,
en el día 50 después de Bikurim,
which would be in the third month,
que sería en el tercer mes,
beginning of the third month.
en el comienzo del tercer mes.
40 days, we're going to be past the beginning of the third month.
40 días vamos a pasar el comienzo del tercer mes.
Adriana, get the
I
microphone.
just want to make a comment that in the tropical, sometimes it rains and the sun is out.
Not if it's, okay, you say, in the tropicals, it sometimes rains and the sun is out. Okay, let's take that thought.
Tomemos esta idea de que en los trópicos llueve y también está el sol.
Is that a flooding rain?
Es esa una lluvia que inunda.
This is a flooding rain.
Esta es una lluvia que inunda.
Flooding rain is going to be dark like a hurricane.
La lluvia que te va a inundar una tormenta,
Okay.
va a oscurecer todo.
Let's go on to the next slide.
Siguiente diapositiva.
Is it really 9:37?
Yes, sir.
It's not
All right, we're going to pause there. My watch,
It's
I'm
stop.
thinking it's quarter after. Sorry, Jose, sorry. All right, we're going to pause there.
Nos vamos a detener aquí.
Wasn't this cool?
¿No fue esto?
Wait till
Bonito.
next week when we get into the mem.
Vamos, la próxima semana vamos a ver el mem.
the 21st. You said you have something.
Huh?
We're gonna have not because it's the
Oh, we're not going to have Bible study next week.
Yeah.
¿O no va a haber estudio bíblico la próxima semana?
We
Okay.
already.
Okay. Not going to have Bible study next week. We're taking next week off. But when we resume with this study,
No vamos a tener estudios bíblicos la semana pasada, pero cuando retomemos otra vez. La semana próxima, perdón.
You celebrating Christmas?
no, I'm not celebrating Christmas.
No estamos celebrando Navidad.
But my eldest son has actually got a day off. We're going to have some dinner together. I'm going to have a conversation and have some time with my granddaughter.
Amén. Amén.
Because Connor, praise God, Connor started his new job today.
Y
He
cuando
finally
comenzó
became
su
assistant
trabajo-
manager, so maybe I can get a grandson.
Amén. From God, what is it?
From your mouth to God's ears.
From your mouth to God's ears.
All right, any questions on WebEx?
¿Alguna pregunta en Webex?
Okay. Any questions in the room? Sorry, I'm looking at my watch. I got 15 more minutes. Okay, let's close in prayer.
Cerremos en oración.
And then we'll resume in 2 weeks. Thank you, Lord, for your blessings today. Thank you, Lord, for this real interesting study. May we grow closer to you. May we have the faith, the perseverance, and the trust of Noach. In your name, Yeshua. Amen.
Shalom. This is Messianic Rabbi Andrew Dinnerman. I would personally like to thank you for tuning in to the Remnant's Call each and every week. You can listen to the full message on our website, bethgoyim.org. If you have drawn closer to the King of Kings, learned more about Him today, we are blessed. If you are blessed by these messages, please consider a donation to our ministry. You can go to our website, bethgoyim.org. That's BETHGOYIM.org. And click on the donate button. You do not have to have a PayPal account to donate. All you need is a debit card. Once again, thank you very much for listening to The Remnant's Call.
If you have not taken your first steps to be born again, just ask God's help. Remember, it's His loving grace that has come to find you. No one is worthy or able to reach God, but God can reach us, and He's reaching out to you now. Just open your heart and let Him in. His arms are open, and the blessing of salvation and eternal life are waiting for you. Don't let it wait any longer.
Ya Adonai, panavoleka, vikuneka, Yisa Adonai, panavoleka, vayasem laka, shalom. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord lift His face to shine upon you. May the Lord be gracious unto you and give you His shalom.
Shalom. My name is Messianic Rabbi Andrew Dinnerman, and I invite you to come to visit our congregation. If you are in the tri-state area, come out and visit with us on Shabbat. We are a congregation of Jews and Gentiles, living as one in the Messiah Yeshua. Bgmc is a place of true worship. The focus never wanders from the Hebraic roots of our faith. Beth Goyim is rooted in the Word of God from Bereshit through to the book of Revelation. Messiah's strong words against man-made tradition are carefully recorded in Matthew 7. That is the reason we only follow the straight-up instructions found in Scripture. Truly, the way, the truth, and the life. If you're looking for a deeper walk with Adonai, come out for our Tuesday evening Bible study called Messianic Torah Time. Come, spend the day with us on any Shabbat. We start at 11 a.m. with the sound of the ancient Hebrew shofar. Next, we offer our King praise and worship in English, Hebrew, and Spanish. After worship, we review the headlines in the previous week's news from around the globe, especially news from the Holy Land, Israel. We don't just list the news headlines as current events, but we comb through the scriptures, searching for clues to understand what they mean and then to help pinpoint prophetically our current position on Adonai's clock. After digesting all that modern information, we leave the world behind as we journey with our Adonai deep into His eternal Word, not with just 1 or 2 scriptures, but usually 7 or more scriptures. The spiritual nourishment and the richness of His kingdom become accessible to the ones who share this special time and seek them out. The day does not end there. Because Shabbat is so special to Him, there is always so much more that our King desires to share. So instead of separating and leaving, we stay together as a family for potluck lunch and an afternoon study of our King's Word. We close the Shabbat together with a reading of the new week's Parasha. That's the Torah portion. Even after those blessings, many of us just can't get enough. So the members bring prepared homemade foods to share while we all enjoy an uplifting movie together. If all that information is not quite enough, you can check out our website where you will find over 200 video teachings and biblical holy day studies. Under Messianic Torah Time, the Hebrew Roots button, you'll discover free studies on many, many different topics, including PowerPoint slide presentations. If Beth Goyim sounds like a place you'd love to visit, but you live outside the tri-state area, there is still a way to connect with us. We stream live on the internet on Tuesday, Thursday, and Shabbat. The website is www.bethgoyim.org. That's BETHGOYIM.org. Our phone number is 973-338-7800 or 978-2-YESHUA. That's 978, the number 2, Yeshua. Shalom.